So today we're going to talk about a story that's, well, it's way bigger than just a discovery in some country. We're talking about a fundamental shift in the tectonic plates of global power, of technology, and yeah, the future of energy itself. And believe it or not, it all kicks off in a nation of just 2.5 million people. Okay, let's just dive right in, because what we're talking about, it literally connects the phone that's probably in your hand right now to a massive mineral find that is sending absolute shockwaves through the world's most powerful governments. Think about your smartphone, your EV, those giant wind turbines you see, MRI machines in hospitals, even fighter jets. I mean, these things practically define modern life, right? But what's the invisible thread that ties them all together? What do they all desperately need to even work? Well, here's the answer: rare earth minerals. And please, don't let that name fool you. These things aren't just some obscure rocks. They're the absolute lifeblood of our entire technological world. Without them, everything we take for granted just stops, grinds to a halt. So let's make this real. Let's take a look at just how deep these minerals run in a single, totally ordinary day. So you wake up, you grab your phone, boom, the screen, the speakers, the little motor that makes it vibrate, that's all rare earth minerals. Then you hop in an EV. Well, the powerful motor that makes it go runs on a special magnet made from neodymium. A trip to the hospital for an MRI scan? That's only possible because of a contrast agent that has gadolinium in it. And heck, even the energy-saving LED lights in your house use elements like europium. They are, quite literally, everywhere. And that right there brings us to the central conflict of this whole story. The entire world is desperate for these materials, but the supply chain? It's squeezed into this tiny bottleneck, controlled by just one major player. And that squeeze is only getting tighter. I mean, the demand isn't just growing, it's exploding. The International Energy Agency projects a 5 to 6 times increase in demand just for clean energy by 2040. The whole world is scrambling, trying to find new sources. Now this tells you everything you need to know. See, it's not just about who's digging these minerals out of the ground. It's about who processes them. And right now, China controls a staggering 85 to 90% of all rare earth processing. That gives them a chokehold on the entire global supply. You know, a great way to think about it is like coffee. You can sell raw coffee beans, and sure, you'll make a little bit of money. But the one who roasts, grinds, brands, and packages that coffee, that's who makes the real money. For decades, a lot of resource-rich countries have been stuck selling the raw beans, while everyone else got rich selling the finished coffee. That processing stage, it's called beneficiation, that's where the real value gets created. But here comes the game changer. Just as the world was starting to really panic about this supply squeeze, a massive, massive discovery gets made in a place you might not expect. In a place called Juihaba, Botswana hit the jackpot. A deposit with 15 different rare earth minerals. Now, this isn't just another mine, okay? This is one of the biggest finds outside of China in a long, long time. And just like that, this small African nation finds itself smack dab in the middle of a global geopolitical firestorm. In this quote, man, it just puts everything into perspective. This isn't just about money or economics. We're talking about who controls the actual building blocks of the entire 21st century economy and security. The stakes are huge. But here's the thing. The really big story here isn't just about what Botswana found in the ground. It's about how they've decided to manage it. And that decision could rewrite the rules for the entire continent. This whole shift is being driven by a new voice, President Duma Boko. He came to power with a mandate that was so clear, so simple, it was shocking. He challenged decades of doing business as usual. His message? Africa must stop exporting its raw wealth. Not slow it down, not adjust it, stop. And this slide, it just lays out the whole new philosophy perfectly. Trade Authority Grace Mumo has this amazing analogy. She calls it the shift from the colonial warehouse model, where you're basically just a storage unit for raw stuff before it gets shipped out, to the architectural masterpiece model. That's where you design, you build, and you govern your own excellence, right there, from the ground up. And as Mormo says so powerfully, sovereignty is not a gift. It is a discipline. This isn't about getting lucky with a discovery. No, this requires a deliberate, disciplined strategy to turn those resources into real, lasting value. And Botswana has a blueprint for this, one they actually perfected with their diamond industry. First up, lock in beneficiation. no mineral leaves the country raw, period. Second, domesticate the capital. Use your own local funds to build the infrastructure you need. And third, verify the origin. Use modern tech like blockchain and DNA tracers to prove you have a transparent, ethical supply chain. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second and just look at the big picture here. What does this huge strategic shift in Botswana really mean for the rest of Africa, and for that matter, the rest of the world? At the end of the day, this table shows the two futures on the table. The old path is to just be a participant, which basically means you're the world's mine. But the new path, the one Botswana is paving, that's to become an architect. Not just the world's mine, but its refinery and its design house. You control the entire value chain. This could be the new North Star for how the entire continent manages its resources. And that leaves us with this final, critical question. Because this isn't just a story about rocks and politics. It's a masterclass in strategy. The leaders in Botswana have made their choice. So the question for everyone else is, are you going to be an architect, building and controlling your own value? Or are you just going to be sitting around waiting for the shipment to arrive?